would like to say hello to everyone from my mother country. Today we'd like to talk about a little trading and maybe how to make some money. We all know number one rule of trading: make lots of money. Because what? Money can buy you kitty meow meow. Yeah, you know what I'm telling you, boys. You know what I'm saying. I'm just kidding, y'all. Anyway, I just felt like being a little goofy. That's alright. Hello. How are y'all? Anyone out there in crypto land? Just want to give a quick review, little rundown. What's going on? Been a lot of panic over the last week or 10 days or 20 days or 35 days. Quite a bit of panic period, but I just was in a mood today and decided to wear my yard cutting hat right here. It's my grass hat. Like when it gets hot, I'm a big dude. I can't be burned like that. I got to wear my little grass sombrero or whatever it's called. I don't know. I like it. Found it at a little farmer's market. I wear it outside all the time. When I'm cutting grass, cleaning the pool, whatever. I've got my hat on. Just thought I'd be silly today and wear it. It's a rainy, dreary day. So this makes me think of brighter springs ahead. But here's the crypto markets today. We've got Bitcoin up not even 0.5%. But on a positive note, it's not 40K anymore. So I'll take 42 over 40 any day. We got Ethereum up a little over 2%. Of course, it's been outperforming Bitcoin for a large portion of this run, and I think it's probably going to continue. There's just so much stuff being built on Ethereum. It's more useful. Bitcoin is a store of value, is a speculative asset. Ethereum is just, there's so many possibilities building on Ethereum and several others, but Ethereum's the granddaddy of the blockchain for users. Everybody else is kind of sideways, a little red here and there. Binance Coin's trying to do something. You got Terra Luna's up 10%. Surprise, it just pops out of nowhere when it feels like it. Then everything else is just kind of sideways. I mean, you got SHIBA, one of my faves. It's up a little over 2%. Dogecoin's down just a tad, but we're going to talk about those here in a minute. All of the top 20, top 50, top 100 cryptos are really just sideways, and they're going to follow Bitcoin's lead. That's how they do. Look at some of the ridiculous biggest gainers that 8 people in the world buy and trade. If you can find them, you've got Son of Shib, Ninja Floki, because that makes me think, when I hear that, I'm like, bam, investment. No, that's whatever, 700% today. Look at the volume on these. The volume is what's disgusting. $284,000 worth of trading volume. That means there's 2 people trading that. They're just waiting each other out. I mean, none of them really have huge volume. Some of the biggest losers today was yesterday's winners. It's called pump and dump, my friends. If they've came out this month, probably not a real sound investment, but that's on you. Educate yourself, learn, do your own due diligence. I'm not a financial advisor at all. By no means am I trying to tell anybody what to do with their money. But I'm telling you what I'm looking for as far as charting in the markets, area of value, looking for stuff that's been beaten down but showing signs of a reversal, looking for areas of value to enter a trade for myself, and then I'm looking at areas of where to take it. Link and ICP. Yes, sir, JoJo. Yes, sir. We're going to look at that. Link was in the description. That was one of my calls on TikTok and a couple of, I don't want to say call. Excuse me. It was one of my alerts on TikTok and several other platforms the other day. It turned around and showed some really nice stuff. ICP, I also think, is probably trying to build a bottom. And ICP is one I think could go just nuts. So I just wanted the overall market. That's where we're at today. It's nothing spectacular. A little quick news, which is not news. We all know it. Bitcoin snapped 6-day losing streak. Avoids dropped below 40K. For now. For now is the key. So you can read that article. You go to CoinDesk and or Cointelegraph. They've got some decent stuff. A lot of their stuff's hype. Jojo says, I've caught that link and I'm going to buy it. I see back in 24 when we're first talking about it. Yep. Yeah, and a lot of the people that's been through this journey with me over the last 2 or 3 years, and a lot of you that's just been in it yourself for years have got on that train, was buying stuff way back. You know, ICP, you had opportunities to get it in the low. Link, you had opportunities to get it at $1. And before that, but when it started getting the hype, I remember my first buy of Link being at like, I want to say 119, 219, something like that, several years ago. If I'm not mistaken, maybe almost 2 years ago now, before the halving and stuff. It's been a minute, and I've been in and out of it. I trade, but then I've got some that's I think is $11 is in my hold account, so I'm still hanging on to some of that. But yeah, good for you, JoJo. I'm glad you got a hold of that. Let's just start it off with Bitcoin here. This is our daily chart. It's not spectacular, but there's a tiny little ray of hope right here. We'll zoom in. Tiny little ray. Tiny. I'm not trying to get crunk on Bitcoin yet, but the key is we need Bitcoin to just be still. Just move sideways, slightly up. We don't need it to dump because everything follows Bitcoin. If Bitcoin craps, then everything else goes with it. Typically, altcoins are going to crap out harder than Bitcoin. But we're seeing that stage in the bull market where a lot of them are not dumping as hard as Bitcoin. They're really holding above key levels. And Bitcoin's trying its best to hang on to the above 40,000 range right now. And on a positive note, on the daily, we are just now, today, starting to lose negative momentum. Now, it can turn around and start building at any time again and invalidate all of this, but what we can see here is if this trend continues, we start looking for that right there. If we keep losing negative momentum, then we'll start getting bullish divergence on the MACD, and that could be a good thing. We get rid of these sellers, and all we need then is for buyers to come back in the market. And right now, that's Bitcoin's biggest problem. It's not that we have a lot of sellers. It's just we don't have enough buyers to outnumber the difference in sellers for the day, coins being produced that day. So that's just telling you how weak the buyers are right now, and you can even see it from the lower levels here on the MACD of buyers coming in. And on the daily, I mean, look, you're almost just you're at that area where in the past, previously, if we look back, every time we drop below on the RSI, we just tend to want to try and rally back. And there's small rallies, some big rallies, but overall, I think we could be about ready to turn a corner. And at least, I'm not saying the bull run's going to continue to 80K, 100K, but at least we could turn around and possibly start retesting some of these areas right here. 46,000, which is desperately we need to be above. We do that, and then we rally back and test 51K. I think that's the key for me. I want to see us retest the 51, get rejected, turn around, test it again, and on that second or third test, break it, make it support, and then I'll start feeling really confident that we're going to continue on a bull run. I know I had this plotted the other day as a head and shoulders, and for the most part, it started to play out, and it doesn't mean it's over, but now we're kind of holding up right here, finding this support, and I hope it does. That'd be great to technically, we still have a higher low. You know, we don't really invalidate that until below 39.49. Below that, then we'll start talking about bear market, prolonged, stuff like that. But Bitcoin's not at a panic level yet. I think we can still see some more upside leading into the Fed rate hikes. And when that happens, I don't know. That's all. We have to see what the market goes that direction then. So that's BTC. A lot of y'all aren't holding that. Most of your altcoin holders, most everybody I know, they've got their money in the smaller cap coins, more bang for your buck in theory. Ethereum looks like Bitcoin. So much like Bitcoin on the daily. I mean, we can even, let's look at the weekly. Is it any better? Nope, just holding tight. We see right here on the 4 hour where it just, everything got so just bloody for a second that we've started to see a little positive bounce momentum, but we're going to see much higher levels is what we have to have if we're going to end up trying to set in a bottom. So Ethereum, Bitcoin, they're hanging in there. It's not fear yet, but they're hanging in there. Yep. That Wi-Fi the other day, it did signal a little move, and Wi-Fi though, because of the supply being so low, a little move for Wi-Fi on a chart is a big price gain, and I'd mentioned that to somebody a week or so ago that it was getting too nasty, that needed a little relief rally. So we may take a look at that too. We got Link. Okay, so I've already got some stuff plotted for Link. Let's go back out to the daily. Chainlink. Here's why I just was so geeked up on Chainlink. And this goes into part of my trading strategy and the things I look for in the standards I need met before I enter a trade. Because really, there's three things you got to realize when you trade is that it can go down, it can go up, it can go sideways. And all you're really doing is deciding when you enter a trade how much money you're willing to wager to see if your theory about the direction of the trend is correct. That's all it is. How much are you willing to spend to find out if you're correct? So I have a set of standards that I go through and look through all of the assets, and when it meets that criteria, which is a whole nother video, which I'll be making some educationals for you to go through about how I do it. But right here was a little quick overview of Link. Well, we said we had a low after a huge run up, which was market peakish. We had a huge run up, and then we lost value. You want to see how much value? We'll take a look. We lost almost 80% of our value, 78 to 88% of our value, and that's where any asset that's lost between 78 and 88% of its value, especially at an inflection level, okay? So look right here, we're at bottom. Look, what do we have? We had chop. We had a lot of chop, some peaks, some lows, a lot of interaction with that level. So you want to start looking at that level for a bounce. Once you get that bounce over 28% of the way, you can confirm that as a bottom. And most of the time, you'll get like a 50% rally, another low. But on the macro, we have a low after a capitulation. We have a higher low. That means there is more market participants that own this asset at this level than there was here. While that's happening, we can look down here at the MACD and see that, and this is probably out. Let's see, did I draw it on the weekly? Yeah. You can see out on the weekly divergence. Low, higher low, beautiful, beautiful bullish divergence happening on the MACD right now. RSI, we have about the same low. But it's still in neutral territory, and I love that. But right as this was happening, we're getting close to turning to positive momentum as we've confirmed this higher low, and we have we had one here too, and it did not get invalidated, close. But these bullish engulfing candles right here, beautiful. And as we speak, it's kind of hanging around this first target of mine that I posted the other day. You're right around that 27.47 area. It's struggling. It's fighting right now. But a few market participants come in that want to buy, and we can break that. And more than likely, we run up to 33.79. And you find those areas right here because what do you got? Straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. Usually when it breaks one level of resistance and makes it support, it runs to the next. That's just classical technical analysis. So then we have that area, and if we can hit that, if we break that, we go see the 39.35. After that, all-time highs again, 52.5, 52.50, something like that. And then after that, we'll have to talk about it. We'll see where Fibonacci's out and all that stuff. But it's beautiful on every single aspect of what I'm looking for to enter a trade. So I entered my trade at 25, a little late because I was out of town for just a little bit and just kind of out of the market right now trying to build out these platforms. But I entered at 25.95, I believe. And so far, it's playing out. And I hope it continues to play out. But you have your stop loss set correctly, and there's nothing to worry about. So that's Link. Link's looking really good long term. Those are your targets. JoJo had asked for ICP. By the way, got to get you some Buffalo Trace whiskey. Amazing. Where did I move my ICP? There it is. Let's check it out. Hasn't really, in the longer term, you look out on the daily, weeklies, there's just not enough information. But look out on the daily, it doesn't look like much. But what you can see is that it's wanting to hold this bottom right here. We've made these lows, and it's wanting to hold it again. And it's kind of, you're starting to get that rounding bottom action right here. So therefore, that's telling me that market participants found this as an area of value, and they're starting, because we've got it's on the daily, so it's a little higher low. You're starting to see people move into it. We're still building positive momentum on the MACD. We've still got a little up trim on RSI. We're not oversold. We're still in bullish territory. So on the daily, really good. I like it. We're testing this little previous high from the other day. We're trying to break through it. We had just a little bit of hidden bullish divergence happen for a second on the 4 hour. We got a cross. Everything still looks good to this on me. We could see it hit 37.96, take another little rejection. As long as it makes a higher low right here, I'm still bullish on it. And all of this, everything we talk about, it all hinges on if Bitcoin holds steady, moves up a little, and doesn't dump. If Bitcoin dumps, all bets are off. Everything's going to roll with it. Ethan, yeah, you missed Dylan, you missed the ETH, but I'm going to get to Doge too. We're going to talk about the dogs. So that, I mean, ICP, JoJo, you're correct. It's looking pretty good, and I don't see any reason to panic over it just yet. We'll hit up the Doge for a second. Let's go out here to the weekly. That's what I want to talk about. We're at a point. It needs to stop right here and turn. On the weekly of Doge, we have a low, a lower low with lower levels of negative momentum. We have like a triple divergence going on right here. If we don't break below this line, if we get higher than these, I mean, look out. Then we're going to 9 cents. Let's see. We're going to hit that high 9 cents. Then we're going to drop back down to 7, 8 if we keep building negative momentum. We started losing it. Now it's building again. We need some buyers to come in on Doge, and we'll be okay. And that's the weekly, but it's looking really, really good right now. If we can get that negative momentum to go away, we're looking good on the RSI. It's still in negative, neutral territory. But Doge is just going to need some buyers to come in. It needs a little price action to the upside to get it jump started, and that's the weekly. The daily, it's not much different. We're trying to get rid of that negative momentum. We actually, if this will start turning and going towards the positive side, we'll show a little divergence here too, and that's going to be good on the daily. 4 hour, we did have a little divergence play out, but got almost no real discernible action, and we just come and made a lower low, and now we're still trying to build it. I mean, you can't say it's a bullish engulfing candle. It just keeps turning around and dumping right now. These smaller time frames, they're not as reliable. So if you're in the Doge market, I've bought some, and I plan to buy more if it goes lower. But I'm not seeing anything indicating major price reversal right now. It's close. It's leaning that way. It's putting its makeup on. It's ready to go to the dance. But the date just hadn't got here to pick Doge up yet. You know, the dad's looking out the door. He's waiting. Doge is putting on some lipstick and the high heels. It hasn't left for the dance yet. But we're getting there. So hopefully that happens. Let's see what else. Can we run through this? We got Doge. Fudge. Oh, no. Okay, I get what you're saying. It's like, is that a new coin out called Fudge Coin? I mean, it probably is. There's anything coin right now. So, there's that. SHIB. Let's look at SHIB. Everybody's favorite little brother to Doge. Boy, I'm about blind these days. I want to get some glasses. I can't see where I've moved stuff around and tried to organize it. And then once I get organized, I forget where I organized it. There it is. Number one on the list. No wonder. Let's go back out to the daily. There's not enough information on the weekly to tell me anything about SHIB. And I think I went over this on my last stream. The last time SHIB kind of bull flagged out there, look at the price break we had. Nice little double top-ish confirmation top. And then we've been in a downtrend. And once again, we can look at the percentage here. About 70% of its value. That's when I want to start paying attention for these areas. But we started forming a really nice little falling wedge. 3/4 of the way through it, per technical analysis, indicates if it's going to break, that's where it breaks. It broke to the upside. We broke the trend line. Back tested for a second confirmation, and then just got no follow-through price action. So that's what you want to see is these 100-year-old technical indicators, a test, a back test, and then you want to see follow-through price action to confirm those items. But what's happened is we're just continually testing this line, and we're staying above it, and that's good, and we just need buyers. We're right back down at this level again. So if this holds a support and we get a little buy pressure come in, what we'll have here on the daily is we'll have bullish divergence, RSI super low. We've got to just get some buy pressure. Once we get back above this 39, it could be a rocket. So SHIB's not looking bad. And you got VThor. I've got price targets been laid out for a while here. VThor technically is making higher lows on the daily. It's struggling to build any more negative momentum. So I'm very bullish on VThor right now. If we start turning positive on the MACD right now, then we'll have a little divergence. So in the long run, this could be, we're having less sellers coming into the market as time's going on. It's getting down to those areas of value. We need to start paying attention that with a little buy pressure could go nuts. We'll look and see what we've lost here. It's in our range. 78 to 88% of its value. We want to start looking that this is a value area. It's trying to hold some of these lows, this area of congestion. You want to hold that, and I'm looking to take profit at my levels along the way. I think it's one that hasn't overly performed in this bull market, and I believe, and this is almost just a theory based on it being one of the laggards, that if we get back up to the all-time high, the over almost right at 3 cents, if it breaks that, you could have a massive move up into double digits there. We could be a 10, 12, and it could go. It could just really rip if the buyers come in. If not, though, I will be taking profit at my areas along the way, and we'll see what happens. By the time it gets here, I want to have about 25% of my position still in the market, and I'll let it ride. Let's see what happens. I'll have a stop loss set right up in here somewhere at about 2.4 cents, and just let it go. Because by that point, I've got my initial investment, made my money, got it out. Stress-free trading right there. What else? Anybody at all have anything they want to look at going to be a short stream, and then I'm going to get out of here, go eat some pretzels, drink some whiskey, try out this new air fryer situation, sit outside and watch the storms roll in. Let's see who else has been important today. On my watch list, a few's done some stuff. B&B's pretty popular, and it's doing some stuff. You know, we broke below this kind of widening channel. I don't know how accurate that can be. I was playing around with that, but we're getting, let's see if we can, with the drawings, let's see what we can figure out here. I mean, you can see that there's a definite demand line right here. When it hits this line, when it gets close to this line, even when it hits this line, the demand kicks in and there's buyers. You know, we had almost a little engulfing candle here, engulfing candle there, engulfing candle there. We've hit that line again. You know, we've hit that demand line. And on the daily, it looks like we are trying to get some positive momentum. I mean, still looks pretty great there. And if we start turning positive on the MACD, once again, divergence could happen, and it could be moon time. So, yeah, it's all good to me. If there's anything else anybody wants to look at, let me know real quick, and I'll take a look at it. We did have just a rip on KNC, 100% run, 100% gain the other night. If anybody took advantage of it, when you make 100% gain, you got to get out. I mean, that's just me. I'm not holding in for 200%. My strategy, I've got my 25% still riding, but I took my profits and got out. I'm going to let that 25% ride until it comes back down and hits my stop loss. And from where I entered, it may not hit it. It might. Who cares? At this point, I've made money, and we're rolling the dice that it does more. So, all right. Well, if anybody don't have anything else they want to get looked at, I appreciate everybody for watching. Please subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching this on Facebook, because we're multi-streaming, please go to my channel. I can post the links a little bit later, but it's Crypto Whiskey. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Earned a second glass, should I say. Earned a second glass. So about to go hit that up. I want to appreciate everybody for watching.